Rise and Grind DMV, happy Sunday. We are waking up to dry and mostly sunny conditions now, but that's all going to change as we head through your day today. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of that system coming up.
And this morning on DC News Now, snow and a wintry mix expected later tonight. What you need to do to prepare for the winter storm. Plus, new year, new laws across the DMV. The details and the changes taking effect in 2025. And it's the final game day of the regular season for the Washington Commanders. What the Burgundy and Gold need to do to beat the Dallas Cowboys and improve their playoff position.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hey there, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for joining us here on DC News Now. I'm Tosin Fakile. Your time is 8 o'clock. It is Sunday, January 5th. And as this weekend comes to an end, the weather starts to change. Let's send you outside right now with a live look over the National Cathedral. Looking quite beautiful. The sun is up. You can see the rays hitting the cathedral. It looks very pretty. However, this is probably about the prettiest we're going to be today and maybe even tomorrow. The expert on the desk with me, meteorologist Brittany Ward. And Brittany, you guys have been talking about this for a while about what we're about to expect today. So let us know what kind of precipitation are we talking about?
You know, we're talking about snow, we're talking about sleet, and a few locations could see freezing rain as well as regular rain. So the good news is, as we head through your Sunday, we will be dry. It's Sunday night into Monday. Monday is going to be the big problem. So if you have to step out, just be mindful of that. All thanks to this massive storm system right now making its way through the plains of the United States. Notice lots of areas right now seeing that wintry mix. We're talking St. Louis right now, seeing some snow across that area. The Dakotas starting to see some snow as well. Overall, the center of this system right now is just there in Oklahoma City. So we're going to continue to track that. This will continue to work its way into our area as we head through the day today. But notice we are dry right now across the entire DMV. We're seeing a few clouds, but starting to see more peaks of sunshine. Clouds will begin to increase as we head through much of the day today. So talking about the timeline, we don't start to see the snow move in until later on this evening. So if you do have any plans, I would say get them done early rather than later. Heavy snow is expected overnight tonight into Monday morning. We could also see some ice accumulating as we head through the morning, and then the snow looks to continue as we head into your evening on Monday. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of this forecast, Tosin, and what to expect coming up.
All right, Brittany, thank you. We'll talk to you soon. In Virginia, the state's Department of Transportation getting ready for the storm. Trucks were out pre-treating the roads ahead of that wintry weather we're expecting starting later tonight. And as that serious winter weather makes its way to the DMV, we're helping you get ahead so you're safe and have what you need in the coming days. DC News Now spoke with an expert at a local hardware store to find out the most popular buys for staying ahead of the storm.
Got a lot of salt, and we have a lot of salt. We actually got like a delivery yesterday, and they're obviously picking up a lot of shovels as well. We are an essential business, so we're going to still stay open. We're all about everyone's health and safety.
That wintry weather projected to start late tonight. And in the district, volunteers are ready to help their neighbors with the snow. DC News Now's Dave Laval explains what they're doing to make a difference.
Salt is scattered all along the sidewalks that surround the Columbia Heights Community Center to make it easier for people to walk on in case they become covered with ice and snow. There's also help for some of those most vulnerable to winter weather.
I will take a scarf.
People stock up on supplies they'll need to get them and neighbors through a winter storm. These volunteers are part of the Snow Team Heroes program. Director Dominique Scott calls it a great opportunity to help elderly neighbors or those with a disability.
Maybe they need to go to the grocery store or to a doctor's appointment or even just travel on the metro.
Volunteers are given free shovels, winter gloves, hand warmers, and salt to get rid of the snow. Stephen Coleman Kenny said he's glad to help.
I felt like I could serve people in my community, which is important to me. And do so in a convenient way.
Volunteers will help neighbors within a 3-block radius of where they live.
It's a great opportunity to perform a random act of kindness, to answer a New Year's resolution, to get out and get fit in a unique and fun way.
Others found other ways to stay warm out in the cold. Live music outside the Gallery Place Metro Rail station had people dancing in the streets and incredibly grateful.
Arms are our hearts. Thank you.
Meanwhile, supplies continue to be handed out at the community center as 600 people have requested help removing snow. The Snow Team Heroes program has been in place since 2020. At the Columbia Heights Community Center in Northwest, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Dave, thank you. And with that wintry weather, at least one school district in our region has already announced it will be closed next week because of the storm. In Virginia, Culpeper School District says there's no school for kids on Monday and Tuesday. Staff will return on Tuesday, but students will head back to the classroom on Wednesday. And of course, you can stay on top of tonight's expected snowfall and all of that wintry weather headed our way at DCNewsNow.com. Just scan that QR code on your screen. It'll take you directly to our DC News Now weather page. Our storm team has been working hard, bringing you the latest details of what you can expect. We are coming up on 8:06 on this Sunday, developing now new details after 5 people were shot in D.C. Officials believe the suspect is among those hurt. D.C. police were called to Harry Thomas Way in Northeast. Just after 8:15 Friday night, 2 men and a woman were found at the scene shot. They were taken to the hospital, conscious and breathing. Investigators say 2 other men took themselves to the hospital. Police say one of those 2 men was arrested. 28-year-old Diamante Bridgeforth is facing 3 assault charges. According to police, the shooting started from a fight between Bridgeforth and one of the victims. 2025 is bringing in new laws for the DMV. We're beginning in Virginia, where minimum wage is now up from $12 to $12.14 an hour. Also now, insurance companies have to cover colon cancer screenings, and the Department of Social Services will need to prioritize placing children with relatives over foster care.
It's less scary than going to a stranger, which is understandable. It helps them stay connected to the rest of their family unit and their friends and their neighborhood.
Some more changes in Virginia. Drivers there have to increase liability insurance. You'll want to check with your insurance company to make sure you are in compliance. All right, those new laws for the district include businesses must now accept cash from customers with the exception of online sales. Health insurance companies will need to cover home visiting services, which are programs for expecting parents and families with young children. Also in the district, in October, sales tax will go up to 6.5%. Over in Maryland, the new laws to be aware of: adult hearing aids up to $1,400 must be covered by health insurance. Also, insurance in Maryland must cover breast and lung cancer screenings. And road workers, they will get more protections this year with more speeding cameras in work zones. Drivers who speed could face higher fines. Happening today, the Commanders' final game of the regular season. While the team is already playoff bound, a win today could really improve their playoff position. Craig Hoffman from the Team 980 breaks down what the Burgundy and Gold need to do to take down the Dallas Cowboys.
3 keys to a Washington Commanders win over the Dallas Cowboys. Key number 1, start fast, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be overly aggressive. The Commanders were actually really aggressive in their first bout against the Cowboys, and Dallas was very conservative, and so they weren't allowing Washington to get these big shot chunk plays, trying to score a 70-yard touchdown every other snap. Just be methodical, execute your offense. Dallas definitely is not built to play that kind of game. So just be methodical. You can score on a 10-play drive and still score early. Do that a couple times, and hopefully Dallas will then be like, hey, 1, 2, 3, Cancun, we're out of here. It's their final game of the regular season, and they don't have anything to play for. With that said, thing number 2, make sure you prevent the big play on defense. The Cowboys offense does not have a whole lot of teeth without CeeDee Lamb, but Kevontae Turpin particularly is a guy that is very explosive. Do not let him catch a slant and go 70 yards. And number 3, I would say make sure you stop the run. And however you do that, if you use some of the heavier personnel, put Daron Payne at defensive end like you did last week, that's fine. But Rico Dowdle, who's had a very, very good year for Dallas, has had one of his better games against Washington in round 1. Let's prevent that from happening in round 2 and really feel confident about this team headed into the playoffs because, hey, the Washington Commanders are headed to the playoffs.
Washington Commanders are heading to the playoffs. That's music to our ears. Hopefully they can secure that victory today on the road. If they take that dub, and depending on how the rest of the league does, the Burgundy and Gold could play the Eagles, Rams, or the Bucks. Kickoff today is at 1 p.m. in Dallas. Right here at home, though, Brittany, I feel like I'm a little glad that the Commanders aren't playing in these frigid temperatures. But when they're in Dallas later on today, are they dealing with the same frigid temperatures?
They're not going to be dealing with the same frigid temperatures that we're going to be dealing with, but they are going to be dealing with the same exact storm system that we're going to be dealing with as we head through the day today. The only difference is they're expecting to see rain, whereas though here we're going to be seeing snow. We could also see sleet as well as freezing rain. So let's take a look at your feels like temperatures today. Regardless, it's still going to be cold out there ahead of the system. Those feel like temperatures through much of the day today really struggle to get out of the 20s, and highs today will be in the 30s, which again is below average for this time of year. So keep it here. The timing of the storm, what to expect, Tosin, coming up in just a bit.